is news on the Hunter Biden front. And it's glorious, and here it is.
Okay, the networks are down, the equipment is ready, and we've crippled their supplies. Mrs. Rackman has written our check and given us the green light. We're good to finally move on that submarine and stop this threat once and for all. When you're ready, get your crew together and head back to planning.
Failing to pay his taxes. Biden also faces a separate gun possession charge that will likely be dismissed if he meets certain conditions, according to court documents filed today. Two sources familiar with the agreement told NBC News that it includes a provision in which the U.S. attorney has agreed to recommend probation for Biden for his tax violations. Well, he's been such a good soul for so long, guys. I think, just a
Yo,
light
what you need?
slap on the wrist from Mother Teresa.
Done. Shit, rise on the way.
Legal experts also said that the tax and gun charges will likely not result in any jail time. Well, there you go. For President Joe Biden's son. So now Joe Biden can go from my son didn't do anything wrong to my son, okay, they pinned some misdemeanor charges on him, but he pled guilty and he's paid his crime. He's paid his due to society. He gets away with everything else. Did we even, I guess we mentioned the tax charges before, but have we ever focused on that? He did not pay his income tax for 2 years. 2 years, just didn't file, just didn't pay. Had a $6 million fine on it. Somebody else just stepped in as a friend. People help you out all plenty time. Yeah, people say, hey, here's $6 million to pay that off. And coughed up the $6 million, no strings attached, and paid his $6 million fine. Like 2 years after the fine. Let me ask you this. Are you still on the street 2 years after you haven't paid your income tax? No, sorry. 4 years after you haven't paid your income tax, 2 years of amounting fine of $6 million. Are you on the street? Have they done anything to you yet? Let me ask you this. If you are you're on the street if that's where they left your body. That's the only... If you're a drug abuser and current drug abuser, and you go in and you try to buy a gun, you fill out a form for the United States government. All over it, it says, if you lie about any of this, you can face up to 10 years in federal prison and face criminal prosecution if you knowingly make false statements. Criminal prosecution for a felony. He's gotten off with a misdemeanor. Now, I'm trying to figure that one out because his dad's really all up on making sure we don't have guns. And yet his son lied on a document, signed his name to the document, saying, no, I'm not a drug user, don't have any problems with it. See, this is why they make these documents. For instance, are you an illegal alien? If you answered yes, you won't get the gun. If you answered no and you're lying, you go to prison. And these questions are put in there to be able to trap you into several felonies. Okay? If you're gonna lie about one, you're probably gonna lie about a couple of other things. And so each one carries its own penalty. And they lock you up. That's why you don't screw with gun laws. I don't know a single lawful person that has a gun that is legal. I don't know a single person who doesn't sweat going into another state, making sure beforehand, am I legal in this state? How do I carry it? When you bring it into an airport, which is completely legal, and you have it legally separated in like 1,400 different boxes, all of them locked, you sweat your brains out because you could go to prison if you get it wrong. Yeah, I used to live a block away from the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, on the Pennsylvania side, which has much better gun laws than New Jersey does. Mm-hmm. And I was terrified that I would bring my gun to the range or something in Pennsylvania and, I don't know, leave it in my trunk, right? And then drive across to get gas in New Jersey, which we did all the time. And if you get pulled over there and they go through your stuff somehow and find the weapon and come up with some chart, totally different laws. I was terrified to take the thing out of the house because I was afraid something would happen. I would keep it in the car for 5 extra minutes. I'll stop on the way home and get gas and cross that border. No. Even though it would have no... I mean, we've seen people this has happened to. And that have gone to prison. Moms have gone to prison because they've just crossed the line like this. And Hunter Biden is with all of the stuff. His dad just gave a speech about how guns can just change their caliber. He knows nothing about guns. I've never seen that magic caliber changing gun, but he is all over wanting stricter restrictions on guns. His son violates a pretty basic one that is clearly marked out on the paper where your signature is. A felony to knowingly provide false information. And he gets a misdemeanor. And that doesn't even seem to be part of this. Like, they're just going to let him, those are just going to be dismissed if he meets certain conditions. The taxes are the only thing that they're going after him on. After all the things, think of what we've seen. Way too much of Hunter Biden. I never wanted to see this much of Hunter Biden, to be honest. I didn't want to see the pictures that they put on TV, like that one right now. I'm looking up at Fox, and they just have a picture of him in a jacket. I don't want to see that one. But this guy has done and committed crime after crime after crime, most of them on video of his own cell phone. And yet, none of this is going to affect him at all? Madness is a great word for it, because I feel like I don't even understand the world I live in, right? Like, I feel like if I were to commit any one of the hundreds of crimes you've outlined that he's committed, I would be in jail for a long time. A long time. You may not leave jail. If we committed half, a quarter of the crimes that he has committed, I can't remember, I saw a total just the other day, it was like 400 and some crimes that are provable crimes. We did not even 100 of those. We would never see the outside of a cell. Never. And yet, this guy's just gonna walk with nothing. Nothing after all of this? Is this really how this is gonna end? So here is the latest poll. Do you think that the FBI report from an informant alleging that Joe Biden took a $5 million bribe while he was vice president should be made public or kept secret by the FBI? 83% say the FBI should make it public. Only 17% said it should be kept secret. Most of those were members of the Biden family. 74% of Democrats, 82% of independents, and 92% of Republicans say the file should be public. 74% of Democrats. This is not going to last. The center cannot hold with this. Only 45% of voters said the
We're all
FBI
lined
is
up.
fully investigating
Cargo's in a
the
plane at
allegations.
LSIA. All you gotta do is fly it out to the drop-off location, land it, and the sale goes through. Make it happen, boss.
Really investigating. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. There's more on a lot of these things, but let me just switch quickly to what happened in Montana.
Merriweather Security Consulting. How can I help? I will direct one of our pilots to your current location.
For business. It was raided by the IRS and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives last Wednesday. Okay? There is, apparently it was an IRS violation, so I don't know what that is, because they came in and all they did was take all of the documents on showing who has purchased a gun. That has nothing to do with the IRS. So, what are you doing? The owner has said that we've always had a good relationship with the ATF. It's not worth not crossing every T or dotting every I. And they just come in and they take 4,473 background check forms. They include no financial information. So there's no discernible reason why the IRS would need those forms. What they did is they took almost 5,000 Americans' personal information, seized it. For what? So they can go hassle those 4,500 people? Is that what it is?
Remember to strap on your parachute.
The owner of this group says they have been the subject of the government surveillance for a couple of years. He said, I have no idea or reason why. I'm guessing it's political. He said, I'm assuming that it's because of the style of weapons that we have and the press that is against them. The current administration seems hell-bent on getting those guns out of the hands of average Americans. He said, we have a reputation of dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. It's not worth doing things that are going to get you in trouble. By the way, the IRS, thanks to the Senate, has hired the additional 80,000 agents that for some reason are involved in seemingly gun control. But the good news is, let me just go back, breathe deep. This too shall pass.
We have arrived.
I don't think the Hunter Biden story is done by any stretch of the imagination. This is all going to come back and roost. And it won't be good when it does. There will be jail time at the end for those who have blatantly broken the law and then used their political connections to get away with, well, everything except seemingly murder.
Yeah, boy, when you think about it, we being lied to about everything. We got criminals running our motherfucking business in the ground. But it is what it is when you think about it. Our fault. We're allowing this shit to happen. All we gotta do is put our fucking foot down, and this shit stops fast. Oh, yeah.
Merryweather, because security is a private matter, what can I do for you? A helicopter has been dispatched to your location.